The calm after the storm, 2 days after our League Cup match against Dundee. We have a measured response and we hear post-match from Derek McInnes. Also coming up, the quarter-final League Cup draw and a roundup of the rest of the news over the past few days on the AFC DONScast on Tuesday, the 20th of August. Before we get started, you've been reading right. Today, a number of newspapers have reported that there's interest in Sam Cosgrove from Serie A side Lazio. Italian media outlet La Gazzetta dello Sport have claimed Lazio have taken notice of his form and Sam is on their shortlist, with the club on the lookout for a striker before the European transfer window closes. Will it happen? Well, probably not, but the Aberdeen hitman has already scored 9 goals in his first 8 games this season and is certainly up there with the best on-goal return rate. The Red Army were suffering from an early European League departure and Derek McInnes and the players needed to put some wrongs right from Thursday night to make up for it on Sunday. But it looked as if our down-and-out Dons couldn't make anything of a Dundee team who were clearly up for it and all in all would have deserved to win the game. Over 90 minutes that was nearly the case if it wasn't for a 90th minute equaliser from Andrew Considine, who repaid his earlier penalty award to Dundee after he pulled down Jordan Forster in the box. Danny Johnson stepped up to take the penalty and put the D ahead just before half-time. It was get out of jail time for the Dons then, and extra time loomed and a sucker punch came for Dundee just before half-time in extra time. A deep cross from Greg Lee found Sam Cosgrove at the back post and he headed the ball down and into the bottom corner of the net to put the Dons ahead. Dundee tried everything to get an equaliser, but as the clock ticked down, it was to no avail. A hard one to take for Dundee manager James McPake, who were the better team on the day, but in reflection a sense of relief for the Red Army, and Derek McInnes will know major improvements are needed to get back to our early season form, but also a reminder that we can dig deep and get a result. Here's Derek McInnes.
2 weeks ago today, leaving Pittodrie, everybody was euphoric after another win against Hearts and how everybody felt and how confident everybody was then. And it can quickly dissipate that, you know, the uneasiness, the lacking in confidence, soul searching. That's what it takes at Aberdeen, and we've got to make sure, I spoke to the players about not being as high as we were and then to go as low as we've been in certainly in aspects of the day, and we've got to find a better level of performance and a better balance to our work. And I think, I'm hoping now we've come through that today. It wasn't about being the best team today, but we found a lot of guts to get the result. And I applaud my players for digging deep and getting the result. I thought at one each, I think it's fair to say we looked like a team more equipped to get the next one. But we've had Bryson back in the pitch, which is a positive, and it's a step towards his full fitness. He's been out a long time. Ferguson will be back next week and give us a bit more strength through the middle. And Cosgrove scores a winner, so there's plenty of positives still from a really difficult afternoon, but delighted for our supporters who have, as we said to players, we knew they would come here in big numbers and get behind the team, and I thought for the vast majority they stayed with us, and I thank them for that, because you know when we won the League Cup a few years ago, we had a tough couple of games down to 10-minute Motherwell and all the rest of it, but obviously playing Alloa at home and winning in penalties, that was a game fraught with danger and anxiety, and the day had a similar kind of feel to it. And you know, Dundee are a good team. We didn't get it all our own way clearly, but we've found a way to get in the next round of the cup, and hopefully, as I say, we can improve, because we clearly need to improve individually, and hopefully we can take a bit of confidence from today's win.
She didn't go into Big Brother for fame, you know. She went in to get her childhood back.
They love her. They love her.
And then it all went wrong.
You're not no princess, you're a normal housemate like everybody else.
She's now become the most hated girl in Britain.
It's just breathtaking what happened to her.
My role became sort of the anchor, but Jade didn't want an anchor.
She was massively flawed, but she was a mirror of Britain at the time.
Jade, the reality star who changed Britain. Wednesday at 9 on Channel 4.
draw for the quarter-finals of the League Cup was drawn on Sunday afternoon. Aberdeen will face Hearts away at Tynecastle on Wednesday the 25th of September with a 7:45pm kick-off. Celtic will meet Partick Thistle, Kilmarnock are at home to Hibs and Rangers are away to Livingston. Lewis Ferguson and Conor McLennan have both been called up to the Scotland national under-21 team for their upcoming European Championship qualifying campaign against San Marino and Croatia. The team will face San Marino at St Mirren Park on the 5th of September before the side travel to Croatia for the second qualification match on the 10th of September. The Aberdeen women's team can teach the men's team a thing or two after running out a 9-0 victory against Stonehaven Ladies on Sunday, putting them 6 points clear at the top of the SWFL1 North table. Eva Thompson, Sophie Jameson, Lauren Campbell and Francesca Ogilvie gave the Dons a 4-0 lead at half-time. Deirdre O'Riordan continued the goal-scoring run after the break with further goals from Bailey Hutchison and Ailey Shore, who both scored 2 goals each to make it the magic 9. Back to the League Cup, and 4 of Saturday's last 16 ties were settled after extra time. James Forrest netted deep into extra time as Celtic edged out Dunfermline Athletic 2-1 at Celtic Park. Flo Canberry scored twice as Hibs overcame Morton 5-3 after extra time at Easter Road, and Dom Thomas was on target as Kilmarnock beat Hamilton 1-0 at Rugby Park. Stephen Saunders grabbed the winner after 114 minutes as Partick Thistle defeated Ross County 3-2 at Firhill. Livingston got the job done inside 90 minutes with a 2-1 victory over Forfar Athletic at Station Park. The other match on Sunday saw Rangers win 3-0 over East Fife. Scottish League sponsors Ladbrokes have announced they will not be renewing their SPFL deal when it runs out at the end of this season, following growing concerns about the influence the betting industry is having on sports fans. The betting giant initially joined forces for all 4 leagues in a 2-year deal worth over £4 million in 2015, with the agreement extended for a further year in 2017. Ladbrokes then signed a new 2-year contract valued at £5 million last January. It leaves league boss Neil Doncaster with a big job in his hands to find a new sponsor. The League Cup will continue to be sponsored by Betfred. Meanwhile, Aberdeen have rejected an attempt by St Johnstone to take Stevie May on loan. Aberdeen have told St Johnstone that they will have to sign their former striker on a permanent deal. Tommy Wright hoped the offer of contributing to May's wages would swing the deal, but Aberdeen have made it clear they'll need to sign the player outright. It's now in the hands of St Johnstone as to whether they'll come back with another approach. And former Aberdeen midfielder Fraser Fyvie has signed a short-term deal with Cove Rangers until January 2020. Fraser had been playing for Dundee United last season, scoring twice in 19 appearances. And just a heads up that the summer transfer window will officially close in Scotland at midnight on Monday the 2nd of September. Normally the deadline would be the 31st of August, but with midnight on that date going into the Sunday, clubs will have a couple of days to tie up any deals.
Football is emotion. It comes from the heart.
It crosses all barriers. You play football anywhere.
Football can actually help bring communities together.
This is an amateur football country. Going to the World Cup was unthinkable. But these guys, they have something in them.
The real excitement about football, it isn't always the best team that wins the game.
Leo Messi, he was not the tallest, not the strongest. Nobody could imagine that he will be the best player of the history of the football.
That's genius.
When I was 12 years of age, doctors told me I've throat cancer. But in my hospital room, I never got sick while I was watching soccer. So I became South Africa's youngest professional referee.
This love, this involvement of the whole country, it comes from your guts.
You don't refuse to pass the ball because someone comes from a certain place. You are going to pass the ball because you want to win.
सपना कि मैं नेशनल खेलने जाऊं. That's my dream.
In our country, we have dealt with so many challenges. This means everything.
It's not only about sports. It's shown us what we can do when we work together.
You can watch the This Is Football documentary on Amazon Prime. It's available now. Tickets for our away match against Kilmarnock this Saturday are on sale now. Kick-off at Rugby Park is at 3 p.m. And tickets for our home match against Ross County on Saturday the 31st of August are also on sale. Kick-off at Pittodrie is also at 3 p.m. You can order your match tickets online for both these matches at afc.co.uk/e-tickets or by calling 01224 63 1903 or nipping into the ticket office at Pittodrie. The AFC Big Supporter Survey closes on the 30th of August. If you haven't had the chance to leave your views about Aberdeen Football Club and Scottish football and also have the chance to win a new Aberdeen home or away shirt, head on over to invernessreds.co.uk/AFC 2019. Thanks for tuning in to the AFC DONScast with me, Graeme Mackay. I'll be back with more next Tuesday and every Tuesday from 8 p.m. with all your latest Dons news. Till then, thanks for listening and stand free.
That's all for this week. More Aberdeen news next Tuesday evening from 8.
Planet Earth has 7 extraordinary continents. Each one unique. Each one full of life.
This walk feels longer in the dark tonight. No hand to hold, no hand inside. I pour my heart out to the blackest sky. Oh, Spirit, can you hear our souls cry? Can you hear my call? Can I have a sigh? 'Cause I am losing hope.
This is the story of those 7 worlds. We will see how life developed on each continent and so gave rise to the extraordinary and wonderful diversity we know today. And we will see why this precious diversity is being lost. This is 7 worlds, 1 planet.
This walk feels longer.